Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. So today is Saturday, October 8th, 2016, and the current time is approximately 7:16 p.m. Today I've had the rare opportunity, the rare, beautiful, priceless opportunity to spend the entire day at home. Now, for the record, in magical traditions, Saturday is the day of Saturn. Saturn rules my sun sign Capricorn. So if I'm doing something on a Saturday, at least for this sun sign Capricorn, either it's bringing me money or it's bringing me health and well-being. So that means that I'm leaving my apartment to give readings at a public venue, or to give one private reading after another, after another, after another, or I'm staying home and I'm taking care of household tasks, or I'm taking naps, or I'm reading books, or I'm doing all those other good things that I love so much. Which is why I'm dressed so casually right now. Seriously, tank top, sweatpants, and flip-flops. Like, I have never left my apartment looking so casually. Seriously. But I feel good. So, let me acknowledge my newest YouTube channel subscriber, and I'm going to say her channel name, her subscriber name a little slowly because it's a bit of a tongue twister. So, it is, hold on, yes, She Soon Star 90. It's basically the words she, soon, and star together like a compound word, and the letter S is capitalized with each word. So it's capital S-H-E, capital S-O-O-N, capital S-T-A-R, and then 90. Very cool username. I have some amazing YouTube channel subscribers. I'm going to acknowledge y'all collectively right now because I haven't done that in a long ass time. Y'all are phenomenal, truly phenomenal. I love y'all. I think y'all are wonderful, and some of y'all have some beautiful names, and some of you are wondering, is he from the South? No, not from the South. So, quick, short story. I had participated in a variety of different courses and seminars with a company called Landmark Education Corporation. And one of those courses is called the Self-Expression and Leadership Program. And I had the honor and pleasure of participating in that program led by a woman named Bert, which was short for Bertha. And she was born and raised in the Southwest. So after having participated in this 3.5-month program with her, and then volunteering for 3 of her subsequent programs, I became the only Latino in Union City, New Jersey who says y'all. So I am not from the South. I am from the Southwest by virtue of the power of osmosis, but that's the full extent of how, yeah, so that. So exactly 7 days ago, I went to one of my favorite places on the planet, and not surprisingly, it is also one of my favorite places in one of my favorite states, which is namely Pennsylvania. And that is New Hope, Pennsylvania, which is truly the shining star of Bucks County, Pennsylvania. I went with 2 longtime clients, one who's been using my psychic services since September 2001, one who's been using my psychic services for a little bit longer than that. Both of them have become much more successful and much more prosperous. Then again, they avail themselves of my prosperity classes on a regular basis, so I'm not surprised. And they've also become very good friends over the years. And we had a wonderful time. We had some amazing, spiritually uplifting and emotionally cathartic conversations about so many different things. And I got distracted a moment because my audiovisual person is looking at the viewfinder, and I'm not sure what that look means. So does that mean that it's okay, or does it mean it's not okay? Is that a yes or a no? Thank you. Now I can focus on you again, YouTube. So, as much as I love the place energetically, and as much as I love the place visually, and culinarily, because there's some great restaurants and cafes there, I also know that for me it's a really nice shopping trip. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I purchased. Now, some of you would call this a haul video. I guess technically it is. I know that some people don't like haul videos. I happen to love videos that show great products that people find that help them and that empower their lives. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I purchased. Now, as most of you know, as much as I love the coupons I receive from Barnes & Noble booksellers, I am a huge advocate for independent booksellers. So with that being said, Farleys Bookshop. That's what I'm going to say right now. I'm going to show you what I got. And you're going to be like, oh, well, Robert had to get these, absolutely. So, and there's something else that I don't see, because it's someplace else, and that's okay. And yeah, so look what I found, or rather what found me. I know, right? And of course, it would be a cardinal sin for me to walk out of Farleys Bookshop without buying this. Now, unfortunately, it's just on the front cover and the back cover. Needless to say, I would love if the pages looked like that. I would be like, yeah, I'd feel like I was writing on papyrus. No joke. And then I found this. I have been getting into adult coloring books. You know, like coloring books for adults as opposed to kids. And the interesting thing is, yes, I did also purchase the upcoming Witch's Almanac, which I hadn't purchased in a long, long time. And it's so funny because as one of the two people that accompanied me, I refer to one of them as the lapsed pagan, and I refer to the other one as the reluctant witch. Because I'm talking to her about new moons and full moons and black moons and metaphysical methods and sacred tools to create, manifest, and maintain divine financial supply, and she's forgetting about them. And I'm like, I mean, no. I don't want to give you all the impression that I think that people who use Androids and PCs are better than people who use iPhones and Apple products. I really don't mean to give you that impression. What I do mean to tell you is that she happens to have an iPhone, and she happens to have an app on that iPhone that tells her the lunar phases. So it's like she gets a reminder all over the place. But anyway, so I love that some of the images in this book are from the Rider-Waite Tarot. And I love that because this gives me the opportunity to recolor them however I want it. And yes, that's confirmation of that. And no, that was not an iPhone. That was a Samsung? It's a Samsung smartphone, Android. Okay. The other thing that I found was this really beautiful notebook mini journal in a box with a magnetic closure. That I'll find and I'll show off in another video. The other place that I went to, which I love, is hold on. It is this beautiful place. It's called Kelty Traders. I love this place. And it's so funny because, you know, this is a place that I used to almost never go to when I would go to New Hope. And that's because their hours are different from a lot of the other stores. And I would always forget. And by the time I remembered, they were already closed for the day. And it's not like I live in New Hope or live next to New Hope. It's like I go to New Hope once, maybe twice a year. So, you know. So I love this place. And strangely enough, I was divinely guided to purchase a rosary. Yes, the happily recovered Catholic purchased a rosary. I know, right? But it's a beautiful rosary. I mean, look at this. With Connemara marble, and we have an eternal Celtic knot, and of course, a Celtic cross. And, you know, it's funny because I remember going to this event at Catland last year, which was in honor of Santísima Muerte. And part of the workshop included working with a rosary. Now, I cannot use a rosary to save my life, or my soul for that matter. So I figured having a rosary, and especially a beautiful one like this, would give me the opportunity to work with the rosary more often. The other thing that I purchased, which I love even more, because it's more along the lines of who I am and what I'm all about, is this beautiful Sacred Numbers bracelet. And I love this whole thing. I'm going to show it to you. It's beautiful, to use Edith Bunker's terminology. So look at this. I have worn this a few times. I love that it has a toggle clasp. The gemstones are indeed genuine. This is definitely a genuine amethyst. This is genuine Connemara marble. This is malachite. Hold on. Yes, this is lapis lazuli, looking almost translucent in the light, which is bizarre. And of course, my Perth stone, garnet. I love this eternal knot charm at the bottom, and I just love the whole thing. It's a beautiful bracelet. And I personally, I know better, because I'm supposed to cleanse and consecrate things before I wear them, but I haven't done that. Yes, I've been a bad witch. No pun intended. Okay, so now there is a place, I forgot the name of it, I think it's called Touch of India, and they have a huge selection of statuary, of jewelry, of clothing, of blankets, of accessories, and they have a great selection of incense. So I'm going to show you the incense that I purchased. So Aphrodisia, I love this brand, by the way. Swagat Aphrodisia. Egyptian musk. It's funny, it's Indian incense that's scented Egyptian musk. I love it. Patchouli. And their signature blend, which is probably the most beloved of their essences, Indian Temple. Let me tell you, this is the shit. If you find this, stock up. Oh, that is just glorious, I'm telling you. And of course, sandalwood. I have been remembering to work with sandalwood lately, so yes. And I love Sri Satya Sai Baba incense, and I've been remembering to purchase some of their other ones, like Celestial. Some more sandalwood. Sandalwood is one of my personal favorite essences. In my prosperity classes, I refer to it as one of the Fab Five. Patchouli Forest and Midnight. The witching hour. I love, love, love. And it's so funny because, and I've talked about this recently, you know, there was a time that I didn't care anything for incense. I'd be like, ugh, you know, what is that crap? Now I love incense. The irony is, after I began loving incense, I began meeting people that were allergic to incense. And I'd be like, really? That, and I'd start giving readings at public venues where I couldn't burn incense. And I'd be like, really? Now that I love incense, this is what happens? Anyway. Now I'm going to show you a few of the things that I purchased from a really cool place. It is called, and I want to get the business card so I can really show you correctly, New Hope Funky Stuff. They have a website, newhopefunkystuff.com, and the owner of the store, who is just beautiful and wondrous and phenomenally energetically, she has phenomenal energy. She creates a line of products called Nature's Soothing Essentials. I love her stuff. And I want to show you one of her products, and that is Throne Slayer. Now, this is for those of us who, let's just say that when we go to the bathroom, there's a lingering essence. I'll leave it at that. And it is made with lavender, lemongrass, and orange. Now, it's funny because two of these three are also wonderful for the face. And they're also attracting money. So, but this is ideally designed for using as an all-natural freshening spray after somebody uses the bathroom. And specifically uses the bathroom in a certain way that makes things smell, linger, things like that. She's updated her designs on some of her bottles, but I love this like old world type of paper and the color of the colors as well. I love I love earth tones. Having so many planets and earth signs, I love earth tones. And she also gave me this beautiful bar of soap from Nubian heritage, made with Indian hemp and Haitian vetiver. Now, and neem oil. Most of you know that I cannot say the word Haiti. It has to, when I pronounce it, it's Haiti. Same thing with Archangel Michael. You know, I don't call him Saint Michael. I don't call him Archangel Michael. I call him Archangel Michael. And one of these days, I will give justice and honor to everybody that I know who's Jewish and pronounce it the correct way. You know, I just don't know how to do that. I apologize to those of you who speak Hebrew. I will one day learn how to make that sound without feeling like I'm coughing up my entire mouth. Well, that actually hurt a little bit. One of the disadvantages of not being Jewish. So that was a gift from the owner, by the way. She gave it to me just because she loves my energy. And I also had purchased 3 of these. Well, I purchased 4 of these, but 3 seemed to make the ride. And they are Joy, which is one of my favorite forms of prosperity. These are wishing stones or affirmation stones. Pray, because y'all know I love to pray. And look at this beautiful angel. Yes. Let me make sure I showed it to y'all the right way. I love those things. And I found this really beautiful bracelet, and you know, I love bracelets, as most of you know, and sometimes I wear a lot of them. And it is this beautiful aqua aura quartz, and it has this crescent moon charm at the bottom. And yes, I will be wearing this bracelet around the times of bright moons and full moons and those accompanying lunar phases. I have not worn this yet because it has not been cleansed and charged. See, sometimes I am a responsible witch. And one of these, which I've always wanted one of these are those unique pendants that have the felt closure, and you can like dip a few drops of an essential oil and carry it with you all day. They come in different colors to match, you know, your outfits. And you know, there's a part of me that needs to remember to be crafty. So I could easily go to like a Michael's. That time I'll say Michael's as opposed to Michael's. Or some other kind of fabric store and get some of these and then, like, you know, cut them around. But I want to show you the design of the pendant. It's really beautiful. I was really happy with this. And look at that. I really love this. And and yes, I have not cleansed this yet. And I'm not going to figure out how to do it now. Oh, it's pretty easy. Okay. I see it. Okay. Yeah, I figured it out now. But I love the design. It was the only one with that design, so I'm like, you know, I'm buying it. And then, now we're going to get to the really good stuff. So, of course, when no, I need to go in a different direction. So hold on. So one of my favorite, there are 2, technically 3 or 4 metaphysical stores in New Hope. But the 2 that I go to, and really the only 2 that I go to, are Mystical Times, and I purchased some of their incense. So Van, which I've known about for years and I don't use nearly enough. Seder. I do have a strong connection to Pan after all. Oh, that's for somebody else. I'm like looking at it like, why do I have that in here? Nubian Queen. No, that's not me. Cleopatra. Wildberry incenses Isis, the goddess, my celestial mother. Mr. Money sachet powder, and I tell you, there's something else in here that feels like metal. It sounds like, I don't know what it is. I gotta open this up. Don Dinero. I love me Don Dinero. And of course, Hecate was on my mind, so when I saw these key charms, I was like, oh, I'm buying these. And they look super cool. I'm like, I'm going to have fun with these. And yes, I am aware that Hecate wants me to do for her this year what I did for her last year. Yes, so, you know, I'm not going to tell y'all, but I might tell y'all, but not right now. And last but not least, my all-time, as much as I love mystical times, my personal favorite metaphysics store in New Hope is Gypsy Heaven, which now is known as Witch Shop Gypsy Heaven. And I love the store. I love everything they have. And I was drawn to purchase a tarot deck. So this is the Circle of Life Tarot. The artwork is very unusual. It's not my usual thing, but of course, the fact that the cards are round gave me an opportunity to finally purchase something from Ellie Moon and her Etsy shop, because you know what? I'm long overdue. I was actually waiting to buy several things to buy in bulk, and she would give me this divine discount in a wholesale thing, or a divine discount in general. But I was just like, I'm waiting too long, and I have other things going on. So I'm like, you know what, let me at least buy this. Because now that I have at least one round tarot deck, well, I have others, but this is the one that I want to give it a nice pouch by Ellie Moon. And yes, this will be reviewed in a future video. And this one will definitely be reviewed in a future video. I never even heard of this. And I'll tell you something, this had so much energy on it. I mean, it was just like amazing to me, because I remember the woman who was in the store, her name is Roxy, and Roxanne took really good care of, I didn't say it was Roxy, she took really good care of me. So what they do in the store is they have the boxes empty, and then, you know, they have the cards in these really thick plastic baggies. And I remember I was touching the cards through the baggie, and I was already feeling like this whoosh of energy, and I'm like, okay. So I love this deck. I love the simplicity of the deck. I love the imagery. I love the symbology. It definitely will be reviewed in a future video. And most of you know, it's like, you know, I am way behind on a lot of these videos. So, of course, lover of incense that I am, I stocked up on incense. So this is Spell Sticks. I love their stuff. So this is High John the Conqueror, and I purchased 2 of these, not even realizing that I purchased 2 of them. So clearly the goddess wanted me to buy 2 of High John the Conqueror. Eros, I am a gay man after all. Triple Goddess. Satyr. And no surprise, I mean, it was a Saturday, you know. And then, of course, divination. I am a professional psychic after all. And this one is one that I've only started working with since last year or 2 years ago. It's called Purple Haze. No, it has nothing to do with Prince. Hard to believe. Use in meditation, enhances visions and psychic energy. Again, being a professional psychic, it makes sense. And then, of course, that's for somebody else. Let me not show you all that. And then I purchased 4 of their own. Oh, that's for somebody else, too. I can't show you that. Sorry. So I purchased Gypsy Heaven's Money Drawing. Dragon's Blood, one of my favorite uncrossing essences. And, of course, Purification, which, of course, has a butterfly on it. Oh, I knew the butterfly was going to show up someplace. I just didn't know when and where, and there you go. There's a little bit more in here. Now, I got to give y'all a bit of a disclaimer. So, oh, hold on. So yes, beeswax candles. Love me beeswax candles. Hold on. Okay, so white for the maiden, red for the mother, black for the crow. Now, here's the disclaimer part. So there are herbs that I purchase at Gypsy Heaven that I consume. like in teas or whatnot. Now, I cannot, with any degree of conscience or responsibility, say that you can consume these, because if I tell you that and one of you believes that and one of you dies or gets sick, then I'm going to be a whole heap of shit of trouble. However, I trust my intuition regarding myself, so I have consumed their rose hips in an aromatic tea, or an aromantic tea, to be more accurate. And of course, I saw bal d'arco, so I'll be making a tea with this as well. And then of course, chicory. I have missed chicory infused coffee, so I might even make some of this tonight because I love the chicory. It was funny because when I would read James Patterson's Alex Cross novels, every once in a while there'd be a section in the novel where, you know, Alex is drinking Nana Mama's chicory infused coffee, and I'd be like, what is the big deal with chicory? And then I finally purchased a can of chicory infused coffee, and oh my god, it was so good. It had this like nutty bitter taste, and it was so unique. Chicory is not for everybody, by the way. Not everybody can appreciate the flavor known as chicory. It is an acquired taste from a culinary perspective. But yes, so I'm okay with adding this to, and it even looks like ground coffee, so that's not a coincidence. And yes, that are all of the wonderful purchases that I made when I went to New Hope exactly 7 days ago. Interestingly enough, I will write about this in the accompanying blog post. But I cannot over-recommend Carla's Restaurant. I love Carla's Restaurant. And of course, I want to publicly thank all those merchants, all those salespeople. And I also want to thank the people at the Visitor Center of New Hope. They take such wonderful care of us. They really do. They're very loving, they're very professional, they're very polite, they're very dedicated. And their bathrooms come in handy a whole heap of number of times. So I am very thankful to all of them, because you know, the Visitor Center at New Hope and the volunteers that are there take great care of us every time we go. And I cannot wait to return. I know that at this point I will not be back in I won't be back in New Hope until sometime mid to late 2017. Maybe sooner, I hope, but that's the intuitive feeling that I'm getting. If that changes, of course, I'll let y'all know. Center City, Philadelphia, I want to go back sooner than later. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Maybe in my birthday month, which is only 3 months away. We'll see what happens. Now, Rainbow Mountain Resort. I want to go back there sooner than later. Honestly, it's going to depend on if anybody has a reading with me between now and the end of the year. If they do, then yes. If they don't, then no. And, you know, one thing that I've noticed over the years is that a lot of people tend to get readings around this time of the year. But one thing that I have said to people over and over again is that ultimately you need to follow your divine guidance when it comes to when to have a reading, with whom, what kind of reading, how much you feel comfortable paying, and how often. But I also think that, and I know that I'm going to do another video on this, a separate video on this particular topic, but I feel that I need to also say that, you know, you don't have to have a video when things are crappy. You can have a video at any time. You can listen to me. Okay, let me try that again. You do not have to have a reading when your life is crappy. You can have a reading as a check-in. You can have a reading when you just want to know what's going on. And my audio-visual person is looking at me like, oh my God! So I'm going to wrap this up now. But thank you, YouTube. Thank you for honoring who I am and what I do. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for everything you are. I wish all of you a beautiful weekend and many blessings.